Prima Media's Engineering News and Mining Weekly is speaking to Sam Molefi, who heads the contract mining company, Modi Mining, which has been awarded the mining contract at the promising Witwatersrand Basin project, where the Australia-listed West Wits Mining is reviving dormant areas of the world's richest gold resource, our world-famous Wits Basin. Sam, thanks so much for chatting to us. What has Modi Mining been contracted to do for West Wits Mining?
The scope of our work is actually quite clear and detailed. It requires us to do the box cut, support, the brow support on the basically to rehabilitate the old workings that has been left for years unattended to. So we're going to be rehabilitating the brow area of the decline, and we're going to be also doing the box cut support and also rehabilitation. And then we're also installing the sets to make sure that as we enter the decline, it's a safe environment to be accessed. And that is essentially establishing and making sure that the mine is set up to be able to be operated on a long-term basis. So we are on the early phase or early stage works where we are establishing the footprint that will allow long-term mining to happen. So that includes also to de-bush all around the decline area. As you would recall that those mines were left a long time ago without any work happening there. So there were a lot of trees and bush encroachment that happened in the area, and there were no services as well. So we bring the services back, establish the footprint to make sure that there are services, water reticulation, power reticulation, and also office infrastructure established on site, and also to be fenced off to make sure that it's a safe environment to work on.
And when it comes to contract mining, it's normally quite competitive. How many companies did Modi Mining have to compete against to secure this contract?
Yeah, in terms of the number, I'm not quite sure there, but I know that there were other interested parties that were, we all submitted our proposals. And then I think because of what we had put forward was a bit compelling and competitive, allowed us to keep on going from the initial phase to the following phase up until we were selected as a preferred supplier.
What do you think was key to Modi Mining being awarded this contract?
So I think what could also want to emphasize is that we submitted the cost estimate, and then that they have uploaded in the DFS process. And I'm here to believe that our base estimates were proving positive on the NPV, and then that's why they decided to go with a profitable approach. However, over and above that, also our experience in the mining industry, we have been in operation as a company for the past 10 years in the contract mining space, underground and on surface. And myself, as the MD of the company, I've got close to 30 years experience of mining, and being also a 100% black-owned company. All that I think worked in our favor. And then also considering that I'm actually born in Dobsonville, so I'm a local. I'm a local person. I used to ride a taxi from Dobsonville to Westtech back then, or they now UJ. And I never thought actually back then that the mining can be resuscitated in my area. And I was glad to be part of the process, because for me, job opportunities that will be created for the local people, it's my passion. And then I'll be answering to that as well.
That's fantastic. And what work has Modi Mining already completed for West Wits at the site?
We have been there for a couple of months by now, and the battle has been taken on. So the bush clearing has been completed. We have installed surface infrastructure. There is now the perimeter fence. Brought in offices, and then diesel refueling bays have been constructed. Power reticulation has been done and completed. Water reticulation is on progress. And then we have done the brow support, as I've mentioned, that it supports the decline. So you know that above your decline is a brow, is a very dangerous or unsafe area that needs to be properly supported, that we have completed. And we have done the grouting, it's also done. And then the decline support, we have installed the steel sets, and we are busy currently pumping or doing void filling. And also, we have done the wings rehabilitation. There's a decline and there's a wings in that area. So old wings that we have gone in, rehabilitated, supported it, and also we have also sealed it off and installed the extraction fence so that we can, draw foul air out of the mine. So there is our upcast site. So we have installed the fence as well. So the fence are currently running as we speak. So those are the key areas, key milestones that we have achieved. And then we're also busy now currently supporting the decline going down to make sure that the pathway to the ore horizon is safe. So yeah, there's few areas that we have done, but a lot of work has been done to achieve that.
What would be the biggest task that still confronts Modi Mining on this part of the contract that you've won?
Yeah, look, I think for us, the biggest things that we have done was to make sure that there's safe access to the underground workings, old underground workings. Now the biggest task is to develop towards the ore horizon, to the river horizon. So we need to only start doing that after making sure that we have rehabilitated the whole decline. It's safe. So that's what we are busy with. Once we have done that, we need to start blasting the development end or the decline so that we can access the river horizon. And for us, the key milestones, the winner here is to hold into the river horizon or into those old workings, because there's some old grounds that are left behind that are not mined that we're going to be mining once we go into the long-term phase of the project. So development and holding into the river horizon is for us is a key milestone that we need to achieve, and that will mark the success of the early stage works of this project.
And how many Modi mining personnel are already on site? And what is the employment potential going forward on this site?
Yeah, currently, because we are on the early phase stage, we just needed to bring in the highly specialized and skilled individuals on the project, because the activities that are taking place there need experience and expertise. So we've got about 71 strong team on site, and the potential that the project carries on the long-term phase and on a steady state or peak performance, we've been about close to 700 people that will be having job opportunities in that mine.
Modi Mining already serves some of South Africa's biggest mining houses. How many sites are you on, and how many people have you deployed on these sites?
Yeah, as a company, as I've already mentioned, that we about 10 years now in this space. We have got about 5 different sites, different provinces, and then we, as a company, we employ about 700 people on permanent basis. That's our strength that we currently have in our books. And yes, and then the sites are spread across the country in different mining houses. But like I said, about 5 of them, yes.
And what is the size and value of your equipment fleet and offering? And what do you see as your main strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats?
Yeah, so I think project-wise in the West Wits, we've deployed about 8 million rands worth of equipment on site. We make sure that we deliver the project on time and on schedule and safely so. But as a company, we have got asset value in terms of equipment to the value of about 190 million rands. There's equipment that are deployed across the country. We draw our strength from our experience in the mining space. I think 10 years has taught us a lot in mining. It has taught us there has been gains and losses in our journey. Whether we lose or we win, that comes with learning. So that is now our strength now, because now we understand a lot of clients, a lot of ore bodies, and a lot of market movements and conditions. So we are able now to make a proper analysis of every client that we approach, whether it is market sentiments, whether it is the commodity prices, and in the client's framework. Weaknesses, we're a growing company, so we're still building ourselves and empowering ourselves in terms of systems. There are a lot of systems out there. Some of them are very expensive, and our competitors would have them. So we're still building up on that space, and then we believe that weakness will reduce in size and impact with time as we keep on empowering ourselves in terms of systems that are used in the mining space. But I must say that we are in a journey of digitization. So we see ourselves, removing that weakness within this year or reducing that element of weakness within this year because we have teamed up with Microsoft in terms of digitization. Opportunities, we appeal to what we can say cost-sensitive clients. We have got a lean structure and we are also a low-cost producer. So, those clients that targets to produce, their product lines at the lower cost, we tend to appeal to them because then we can offer them, a tailor-made package that is also cost-sensitive. In terms of threats, I think threats we have got those existing competitors that are strong, that are established, that are have got 100 years of experience in mining and have got bigger teams. So those are type of the threats that we come across. So we can say they are our competitors, others direct and others indirect competitors. But all of that, we use all of that to package ourselves, become appealing to our potential clients and even existing clients.
Just let's go back to the beginning. How did Modi Mining come about? Who owns it? And what are its business aspirations looking long term?
So Modi Mining is jointly owned by myself and my partner. Her name is Motlapele Molefi. The company incorporated in 2007, started operating in 2011, and up until today, going forward. Our biggest aspiration is to really grow into a space of the so-called tier one companies, the companies that are really quite big and even listed. So it's our dream to go into the space and eventually become a listed entity so that we can be able to access those capital funding structures available in the JSE space. And also, aspirations go to include ownership of resources. So we really look forward to achieving those milestones as a company, listed and ownership, so that we can become, one of the biggest players in the industry in the future. Our growth does not only benefit us, it also benefits our clients because then, typical example is the one of Westfits, where we got mobilized with equipment that is readily available to execute the works. So our growth in terms of asset experience also benefits our clients because we can be able to deliver, the project, successfully so, and also be able to create jobs. The biggest desire and dream for our company is to create sustainable jobs. Our current employees, they enjoy sustainable jobs. They've got employee benefits schemes that are good and strong for their well-being. So the more people we employ, the more people have got access to that. Medical aids, retirement or pay or provident funds, those things are available in our company, and we share that we contribute towards this company to make sure that our employees have got sustainable livelihoods.
And finally, I'd just be fascinated to find out a little bit more about you, the person from Dobsonville. Did you grow up there? Can you tell us about, early schooling and everything in Dobsonville and how you just stumbled into this as a mining engineer?
I was born in Dobsonville. My parents stayed there. In actual fact, my father was working at Crown Mines next to FNB Stadium. So he used to tell me that he used to work there and the experiences in the past and all those. So I think those are the things that could have contributed to my selection of my career. But the long and short is that I was born there and I started, there in my early ages. And then later on, I moved on to the former homeland state called Bophuthatswana. That's where I did my middle to high school learning phase. And then eventually I came back for tertiary to Dobsonville because it is our home. So then I enrolled with Westfits. I got a sponsor from Goldfields. So actually I was a bazaar with Goldfields Limited back in the days. So they sponsored my studies. Initially, I was staying at home, but later on, they sorted out our accommodation and I went to stay in rest. So that is my journey in terms of studies. And then I went back with Goldfields. As a career, there's always changes. I joined Sasol, I joined Anglo Platinum, and then later on, I went as far as Mali, West Africa to work there as well in the mining space. Then I came back home to go into business. And that's when I started doing the proposals and pitching and proposing with the mines to provide them with the best suited mining solutions for the challenges they were facing at the time. So our current clients, are quite happy with the product and services we provide them because they are coming from a knowledge base and understanding of the mining space and the cost, imperatives in the mining space. So, and that led to us, being also every time in a lookout for opportunities. And this one here we spotted in a local publication, and we raised our hands and then submitted and proceeded with the flow as we ended up being the selected bidder.
That was Creamer Media's Engineering News and Mining Weekly, speaking to Sam Molefi, the MD of the contract mining company Modi Mining.